Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing, just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door.
We're ready for Christmas. Can we do head back home? When the sleigh blows cold, I hit the road.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing the December reset. So if you would like to reset along with me, feel free to grab a notebook, but let's go ahead and get started. If I sound ill, it's because I am. I have just been getting over the flu and this is like my best day so far. It is currently day 3. And I am ill. Actually, is it day 3? No, it's day 4. Monday I went into work and I had a bit of sore throat and was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, just take some throat lozenges. Like, I got some soothers from the chemist and was like, yep, that's fine. And now I'm properly ill. I've been properly ill for it's the 3rd day of being properly ill, but the 4th day of symptoms, and I've tested for COVID, haven't got COVID. I did have my flu jab this year, but I'm starting to feel like I didn't, which, is it even possible for the flu jab to just not work? So I'm trying to get as much of this sort of my content filmed. But if you are new here, my name is Deanna and I am 30. I live within the UK and I make content about self-improvement, about lifestyle vlogs, mental health, neurodivergency. Pretty much if it happens in my life, it's going to be on my channel. But I am going to be trying to participate in Vlogmas this year. So obviously Vlogmas is one video every single day for 24 days, sometimes 25 in December. And yeah, I'm going to give it a go. My most succeeded one was 12 days of Christmas that I did, or 12 days of Vlogmas that I did back 2 years ago, and I managed to do 12 videos, doing one every other day. But we're really going to go for it this year. I'm going to try and get as much as possible out, as much as possible edited. I'm currently filming this on the 24th of November, so we're going to go ahead and reset for December. I have made some notes, so if I'm looking down at any point, that is why. But we're going to start thinking about December because it is the final month of the year. Let's just let that sink in. Oh my gosh, where has the year gone? Like, honestly, where has the year gone? So in this video, I'm going to be setting some goals for December. I'm going to be reflecting on my November and reflecting pretty much on the whole of 2026 and thinking about what it taught me and like what I'm going to be taking forward to the next year as well. I'm also going to be talking about my actual plans for Vlogmas and for Christmas. So yeah, let's start briefly with what happened in 2025. So I'm going to break this down into sections, and the first section we're going to talk about is my mental health. So my mental health has been fairly stable. I've been on venlafaxine modified release, and I've been on that for pretty much the whole of 2025, and it's really given me a good stability. Although for about, I would say, June time, I noticed that for me personally, the venlafaxine was giving me quite a lot of numbness and like emotional numbness. And I was struggling to like basically feel anything apart from a bit of anxiety, and just I felt emotionless. There was nothing there. And so I spoke to my GP, and we're currently looking at reducing the dose, and I've started that process to reduce the dose and then potentially go on to a different medication, because I feel that I still need medication, but I just feel that venlafaxine isn't for me anymore. But if you are struggling with your mental health in any way, then please seek medical advice, because I am not a doctor. I am just someone that is talking from my own experience and basically just showing you what I've been through. So now we're going to move on to work, and this encompasses my current employed job plus what I want to do in life. So my current employed job is working at a school, and I work very part-time hours. I don't do a full-time job, and that means my income's obviously lower and always bits and pieces. I set a goal for in 2025. I really wanted to make YouTube my full-time job, or at least go part-time, so that I would have a sort of side income on top of my my employed job, but that didn't happen. So yeah, it was definitely a bit of a bummer, and I've been casually applying for jobs that are full-time because YouTube is just taking forever to become my full-time job. job, so I still want this, but I just also need the money because the cost of living crisis is getting ridiculous and I'm struggling basically. So if you'd like to support a girl, then I will, you know, leave a link down in the description box down below for buy me a coffee. I will also appreciate it a lot if you would like, comment and subscribe, and also hype this video, because this video, you know, if you hype it then it gets out to more people. In terms of YouTube, I noticed that I was starting to develop a better and more consistent workflow when it came to YouTube and when it came to like the actual flow of doing things. So the fact that I was sitting down to film, I then was going along and like, you know, editing at certain points in my week, and I was really kind of getting in that consistent flow. Like literally 2 weeks ago, I edited 3 videos in 1 week, and it's because I had like 3 whole days at work where I get that 2-hour break, which is standard for me because I do 2 roles within the same company. So because I had that 2-hour break, I take my laptop in and I do like editing and stuff for YouTube. And yeah, it was a case of I managed to get 3 videos, so 3 weeks worth of content, because I only post once a week at the moment, all done within like a week, which was so good because then I got ill with the flu and I couldn't do anything, but I was able to still have videos scheduled and ready to go. So just to end off the YouTube, I am going to have a little look in my YouTube studio and I'm going to put on screen the stats for YouTube because I'm someone who's really interested in that sort of thing. So I'm going to do my 2025 stats up until now. So my views, I've had 127,074 views as of recording this video. So it might have changed in terms of like words, bits and pieces. I have had, in the whole of 2025, I've got 1,855 watch hours, 0.6 watch hours, which I am struggling to get watch hours. So yeah, if you would like to watch this the whole way through, then please, because my watch hours is the only thing that I'm struggling with to become a full-time YouTuber. So yes, please. In 2025, I gained 352 subscribers. I did set my goal to try and gain 600. So like that was definitely nowhere near 600. However, you know, it was over halfway, you know, it's decent. And that brings me on nicely to talk about the fact that when I reach 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and I'm going to be doing, it's going to be UK based. Majority of my audience is based in the UK anyway. And for 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing 5 winners of a self-care and like just general productivity self-care box, basically like a little gift box. And as I said, it'd be UK only. However, I will post details when we start getting closer. So when we get to like 4,000 or something like that, around that time, I will post this is how you enter the giveaway. But just to let you guys know, for the ones who've been here since pretty much the very beginning, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. But yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that like when I reach 4,000-ish, I will be then talking about how to enter this giveaway. And as I said, it will be UK based only. But when I get to a higher milestone, I will then be looking at doing like an international giveaway and things like that. So yeah, basically 5,000 subscribers, there'll be 5 winners for the self-care box, and I'll pay for postage. There'll be nothing for you guys to pay for. I'll just need your address and those bits and pieces. So I'll post more details when the time comes. So now I'm going to talk about December goals. I don't want to be setting too much ambitious goals, simply because I'm going to be focusing on YouTube, focusing on Vlogmas, and I really don't want to be setting too many goals that I would then set myself up for failure. At the end of December, so probably around like the very end or like maybe the beginning of January, we'll be doing a like 2026 reset and talking about like what I want to achieve in 2026. So I'm going to start breaking this up into work, YouTube and side hustles, health and wellness, and then other. So for my work, I want to work on creating a good life work balance. So like being able to come home at night and, you know, relax and have like, you know, some self-care evenings and stuff like that, like try and basically make the best out of a very busy situation. And then I also want to be at work 10 minutes early at least 75% of the time. So when I go to work, there's 2 different buses I can get, and the first bus would get me there like 10 or 15 minutes early, and then the second bus would get me there pretty much like dead on time. So I want to work on getting the first bus more consistently so that I'm there 10 minutes early. I just prefer that because if I'm there 10 minutes early, then I've got more time to get used to my surroundings and everything, and also just plan, you know, find out if anyone's ill, if we've got any cover for anything, then, you know, basically just have a better idea as to what's going on. In terms of YouTube, I want to post 24 long form videos and then shorts as well, but I'm not entirely sure how many shorts and like all that sort of stuff. I do use a tool, this is not sponsored, but I do use a tool called Opus Clip, and basically basically you put your like long form videos in and it creates shorts for you. So I will be sort of posting shorts from there, and yeah, just trying to put as many of those out as possible and trying to garner a good audience, shall we say. So for side hustles, I want to work on earning about £50 on Vinted. I will leave my Vinted username in the description box down below. It is literally Deanna8, and I'm going to be selling a load of like bits and pieces from around my flat, and also I'm going to be opening some advent calendars. So if there are things that I'm just not going to use in the advent calendars, then I will be basically selling them on. For health and wellness, this is the most bulkiest goals I want to have for health and wellness. So the first one is to keep in touch with my GP regarding my meds change. So I actually need to do that at some point towards the middle of December. So yeah, that's one of my goals. To be more consistent with my skincare routine. So I've noticed that when I've been more consistent, I've had less breakouts. I recently did have a fairly big breakout, hence why I haven't put like a full face of makeup on today. I've just put like eyebrows and like basically eyeliner and mascara and stuff and a bit of concealer. I haven't put a full face of makeup on because I just want to give my skin time to breathe. I want to be cooking from scratch more and try to be healthy. I also want to be researching and or trying some healthier snack recipes, like baking snack recipes. The fifth one is I want to focus on winding down for bed, having less screen time, especially when I'm actually in bed. So basically treat my bed as this is time to go to sleep and have less screen time. Like a little bit's not too bad. I do also like a bit of background music or noise to go to sleep. So yeah, basically have less screen time. My other goals is to keep cash stuffing and to keep an eye on my finances, like a very close eye on my finances, try to like really, you know, be very mindful about what I'm spending money on. And this goes to say that, like, you know, once YouTube becomes a full-time thing, I hope to be able to have more financial freedom to pay off my debt and to like make more financial content, because at the moment, I am making some financial content and I plan to do that in 2026 and be more consistent with that. But in 2025, I just haven't, because I've not had the money to be able to like make a whole month's cash stuffing video with like, say, the previous paycheck. I've not had enough money to be able to do that with, but I do want to start making cash stuffing content, which, yeah, let me know if you're interested. I also want to make an effort to organise and declutter for at least 1-2 sessions within December. So one of those, my friend Jay is going to be coming, and she's actually on YouTube as well. So I will leave her link to her channel down below. She is a fairly new YouTuber, and she basically posts all different types of content as well, kind of similar to me. She is struggling with the consistency, and I think that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to encourage her to keep going, because she does actually like creating content just like me. Okay, so now let's get into Vlogmas / Christmas and my plans / sort of the content you can expect to see from me in Vlogmas. So this is going to technically count as Vlogmas Day 1, this video, and I'm going to be doing about 5 to 6 or maybe even more different types of advent calendars. So you can expect me to be opening advent calendars. There's going to be at least one gift swap, so you can expect to see a gift swap. I'm definitely doing one with Jade, and I'm going to do a virtual one with Amanda. And Amanda's also a fairly new YouTuber, so I will also leave her link in the description box down below. She does a lot of vlogs, and she does a lot of like lifestyle content and like baking and basically like a lot of vlogs. She's more the vloggy type YouTuber at the moment, but she has got an interest in helping people with mental health and helping them to like live their best lives. Very similar to me, so if you like my content, I think you'd also like Amanda's content, especially if you're more into the vlogs. So yeah, basically you're going to be seeing advent calendar unboxing, you're going to be seeing gift swaps, wrap with me's, Christmas crafts, hopefully, if I get some time to sit down and actually make Christmas crafts. And yeah, basically there's also going to be a Christmas specific or like a festive specific Q&A along with the wrap with me's. So, and I wanted to do that simply because I wanted to make it like a bit more interesting, shall we say. And I've just noticed I've done this whole video and I didn't put the lights on for my tree, so I am not refilming this because I've just spent 20 minutes filming this without the lights. But I will be putting the lights on for my next video because, yeah, I am silly and forgot to put them on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I would really appreciate it if you would like, comment and subscribe and hype this video so it gets pushed out to more people. And please don't forget that I believe in you, even if nobody else does. And I shall see you in my next one. Bye!